Back in the month of May, an image of a patent leaked on the internet, which made us enthusiasts as bikers very excited. And why not? Because that image was of a patent filed by Honda here in India of their globally available entry-level street fighter, the Honda CB190R. But at the same time, we also thought that Honda will require at least a couple of years to bring that bike here in India with BS6 compliance. But we were so wrong, because in this year itself, in the month of August, Honda unveiled this bike, the Desi, the Indian version of the CB190R, under the branding of the name Hornet. So, hey guys, what's up? I'm Shriti. You're watching my YouTube channel Shree Productions, and today let's check out the all-new Honda Hornet 2.0 and also find out whether it's worth buying or its much more powerful Indian counterparts. Let's get started. Before starting the review, special thanks to Aryant Honda from Sidco Aurangabad for providing me the Hornet 2.0 for a detailed review. Aryant Honda is one of the first dealers in the city of Aurangabad to get the Hornet 2.0. Contact details for bookings and test ride are in the description down below. The Hornet 2.0 feels strangely familiar to a certain 160cc bike in every aspect possible, and that 160cc bike is not a Honda. About the engine, Honda has played it safe this time, as they always do. It's a simple, unstressed air-cooled motor with a crazy low compression ratio of just 9.5:1, which is simply unheard of in this day and age. That, along with a 2-valve head and a 5-speed gearbox, clearly shows that this engine was born to deliver mid-range grunt and a tractable bottom end. And that formula simply works. The bottom end torque and an exceptionally light clutch means riding this bike in slow-moving traffic is a breeze, with no protest from the engine even in high gears. And then, as the traffic clears, a decent mid-range surge arrives past the 3.5k mark. The engine keeps pulling till 8000 rpm and remains surprisingly refined. But past that, some vibes do creep in on the foot pegs and the seat. As mentioned earlier, the sole intention of this engine is to deliver the grunt in the bottom end and the mid-range. That is evident as revving it past the 8k mark does not result in much progress. The engine can happily rev till the 10k red line without too much buzz. The engine then is stocky, fun and practical in the city and sort of adequate on the highway. Just like the 160cc bike, it feels similar too. The gearbox too is precise with effortless shifts but with just the right amount of clicky feel. Finding neutral is the easiest on this bike as well. The grunt of the engine is exaggerated by the lack of weight. A curb weight of just 142 kg is seriously impressive for a 180cc bike. And this means all of a sudden, the power output of just 17 PS does not feel lacking. Handling of the Hornet is like a childish adult. It can misbehave and have fun if you ask it to. But in the office, it behaves like a matured and sophisticated person. The short wheelbase, lack of weight and the suspension tuning has made it a super flickable bike in the city traffic, even with a pillion on board. The shiny USD forks have been tuned really well. What I mean by that is that they do not fall in the middle of the stiffness versus comfort chart but lean ever so slightly towards the stiffer side. That, along with the inherent rigidity, means you get a superb front end feel. The rear shock has been tuned in a similar way. It keeps the rear end planted but at the same time does absorb the initial bump really well. The suspension setup is nowhere as stiff as a KTM, for instance. The suspension setup in all is very slightly stiff but mostly tolerable for a spirited rider. Brakes on the 2.0 are super impressive as they offer sharp bite, feel and decent feedback. The ABS isn't too intrusive. About the ABS though, as I've mentioned earlier, at its price point, a dual channel ABS unit would have been great. The seating posture is relaxed with a very slight front lean. The foot pegs are mid-set. The seat has perfect cushioning and handlebar is flat, but a slightly wider handlebar would mean better leverage. But considering the sort of flickability this bike offers, no complaints there. All these aspects considered, the 160cc bike which this new Hornet is shockingly similar to is the Hero Extreme 160R. Think about it for a moment. The engine is basic, peppy and refined. The weight is kept to as minimum as possible. The suspension is well rounded and the brakes are sharp. So this is the key of the bike. Looks quite typical to all the other Honda commuters out there. Honda should have provided a much more premium key for this bike, but alright. It does get a tank mounted keyhole similar to that of the Yamaha MT-15. Alright, about the styling of this bike. Now the front end of this bike looks quite muscular because of these massive tank extensions up here. They are quite edgy and have this big Honda logo sitting proudly on these extensions. Somehow the tank extensions have a lot of holes in them. As you can see, I don't know what's the purpose of these, but I guess they are here for increasing the aerodynamic efficiency of this bike, I guess. The one highlighting feature of this bike, which Honda is quite proud of and which steals the show when it comes to the looks of this bike, are obviously those gorgeous looking gold anodized upside down forks up front. Now the diameter of these forks haven't been revealed by Honda officially yet, but I guess these are 41mm USD forks. Now again, another mechanical component which looks quite premium, quite nice, is the hubless disc up front. It's a 276mm disc up front. The USD forks are from Showa, written down here. It gets a lot of faux carbon treatment throughout the bike, where the matte plastic is present, as you can see. Now this bike does get a split seat setup, and the design of the seat as well is quite nice, and the padding on the seat as well, it's perfect, absolutely perfect. It's not too stiff and not too soft as well. So long rides of around 100-150 kilometers without any butt ache will be possible on this one. And there are 4 colors on offer on this one, which is Pearl Igneous Blue, Matte Marvel Blue Metallic, Matte Sangeeta Red Metallic, and Matte Access Grey Metallic, which is the one we are seeing right now. Now other than the upside down forks, Honda is quite proud to offer all LED lighting on this bike. So it gets an LED headlamp up front, obviously, and these LED indicators, which do have a hazard light function, a hazard light switch below the engine kill switch actually. And yes, one more massive feature on this Honda is an engine kill switch, and again that iconic X-shaped LED tail lamp. I mean, again, this bike is a Hornet, it must have this feature because it has become quite an iconic feature, a quite iconic design feature on the Hornet. Talking about the specs, the Hornet 2.0 gets a 276mm disc at the front with a hubless design which looks quite nice, and a 220mm disc at the rear with calipers by Nissin at both ends. It does get a single channel ABS, which is a big bummer because offering just single channel ABS at an ex-showroom price of 1,26,000 is a big bummer. But I guess Honda might have spent that extra money on offering us with these gorgeous upside down forks up front. It gets a box section swing arm at the rear and a preload adjustable monoshock, of course. The tire sizes are 140 by 70, 17 at the rear, and 110 by 70, 17 up front. Now the wheelbase of this bike is a little bit longer compared to the X-Blade and the outgoing BS4 Hornet. It stands at 1355mm. Just for instance, the new X-Blade has a wheelbase of 1347mm, while the BS4 Hornet had a wheelbase of 1346mm. Now the platform on the new Hornet is completely new. It gets a new diamond type frame, which is longer than the BS4 Hornet, and again the new BS6 X-Blade again. The seat height again is unknown, has not been revealed officially by Honda, but according to my experience, it's definitely under 800mm. Because despite riding solo and even with a pillion on board, I was able to plant both of my feet firmly on the ground. And I'm 5'8" and quite healthy. So that shows us that the seat height on the Hornet is quite approachable. Alright, done with all the other specs, let's check out the engine on the Hornet 2.0. This bike gets a 184cc SOHC air-cooled 2-valve single-cylinder engine, producing 17.3 PS and 16.1 Nm of torque, which is 2.2 PS and 1.6 Nm more than the BS4 Hornet, and 3.5 PS and 1.4 Nm more than the BS6 X-Blade, which is a considerable amount if you consider the weight of this bike, which is a highlighting, an absolutely highlighting feature of the Hornet 2.0. Because this bike, wait for it, weighs just 1 kilogram more than the outgoing BS4 Hornet, and that's a crazy thing to achieve, and just that aspect alone will definitely improve its points when it comes to power to weight ratio against its 200cc rivals. As you can see, it gets that red spark plug cover and the additional catalytic converter down there. The exhaust is nice and chubby and it's quite short actually. Let's check out the exhaust note of the bike by operating an engine kill switch on a Honda. Let's check out the instrument cluster of this bike. It does that neat animation when you start it up. So it gets a digital tachometer up top, a huge speedometer, a clock, a trip meter, a fuel gauge and a gear position indicator, which is quite important in this segment. And it gets 2 additional trip meters and a battery voltage indicator. It does not display any fuel economy ratings or anything else. It does get telltale lights at the bottom. The fit and finish and the build quality, as I've told you earlier, is really nice. The handlebar again has this nice silver finish which gives this cockpit a premium look. Now the premium look is further emphasized by the look of those golden USD forks down there. And they do get this nice, I don't know if you can see, it gets this nice machined finish which again looks really nice in person. But the one thing which simply does not fit this dashboard is the chrome finish on these bolts. It's similar to that on the Xtreme 160R, but I guess they can be removed easily. Alright, about the switch gear, it gets a dual throttle cable which helps in decelerating the bike and a precise control on the throttle, which is a nice feature. The fit and finish and the build quality of the switch gear again is quite nice. And one thing which Honda is really proud of is, again, as I'm showing you, is this, the engine kill switch, which is a rarity in Honda bikes nowadays. But the BS6 bikes, commuter bikes from Honda, are finally getting it. But just look at it, that logo right there and that switch looks quite different, right? Alright, cut the crap. It gets this hazard light switch, which is a nice addition, as a lot of guys will need it while touring at night. Now one thing to note is it does not get a silent start feature, and the starter motor is quite exposed down there. And this is the switch gear on the left side. This is the sound of the horn, which is very different to that of an Activa, which is a great thing. It does get a pass light switch down there. The clutch effort is crazy light. It's one of the lightest clutch levers that I've felt.
Alright then, the question is it worth buying over its much more powerful 200cc rivals? The answer is obvious. The NS and Apache offer much more performance for pretty much the same amount of money without compromising too much on their practicality. The Hornet, on the other hand, is exactly like a typical Honda bike should be. It's got adequate power, superb refinement and proven reliability. So the Hornet is for someone who is not a hardcore biker, is looking to upgrade from a 125 or 110cc commuter, wants a bike which will prove to be reliable in the long run and won't cost too much to maintain. It is for the CS and IT guys then. Is it worth buying at this price point then? That's a question only a potential buyer can answer. What are your thoughts on the new Hornet 2.0? Let me know in the comments down below.
So that's pretty much it from my side. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel right away. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.